Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of Snowed. The Michael Snow is a fraud story. I just want to mention a few things. Number 7 seems to have been taken down. Now, they're being reported for harassment and bullying, and I'm not bullying anybody. I'm not harassing anybody. I am just telling my story. This is my story. This happened to me, not bullying or harassing. So if I have appealed this and if it doesn't get put back up, please go to my Facebook page. It's called Michael Snow is a Fraud. Just Google that. It'll come up. Lots of great information on there as well. You might even want to peek ahead and see some of the things I'm going to be talking about. So I am posting these TikToks to there as well. So do check there in case you seem to be missing an episode. That's where it will be if it's been taken down. So, number 10, what else did I wanted to tell you? I'm going to just sort of randomly tell you some stories. I don't even know if I'm at the right time frame yet. You have to realize this is like 5-6 years ago now. So I'm just sort of trying to remember these things. So July of 2019, my family, my entire family, my parents, my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, we rented a beautiful big cabin, and we were spending, like a long weekend together. So we were all gathered there. We'd been planning, and it was a big event, and it was wonderful. We were having a great time. Mike, not so much. He didn't seem to be enjoying himself. He did bring a whack of blueprints for my brother-in-law to have a look at. My brother-in-law had no interest, but I think that was all part of Mr. Snow's deal of playing the bigwig and trying to get my brother-in-law to invest, which he didn't want to do that. And I knew it. But at any rate, that weekend, I also caught Mr. Snow on dating apps again. He had actually taken a picture at that cabin and posted it to his dating site. Weird. Anyways, huge fight. He laughed. He laughed, and he did say he had to go do some business in Regina. Now, that's a long way away, but it was urgent. He had something to do with the blueprints he'd brought along. Whatever. I wasn't going to let that ruin my weekend with my family. So off he went. Later that evening, he called. He said, "Oh my goodness, you." Now remember, these are the stories. How he tells these stories so that he can cover his tracks. He said to me, "Oh my goodness, you're not going to believe this. I stopped at the corner store on the way over to our house and my house. And it was like 10 o'clock at night at that time. And he said, like, you're just not going to believe it. I went in there. I came out. There was some guy there. He had a knife, and he told me he wanted the Jeep and he was going to fight me for the Jeep. And so he said, I just you gave him a punch and called the police, and the police came, and it was a huge ordeal. So, I had to make a statement and blah, blah, blah. And by the time I was all done with that, I was just way too tired to drive back there. So I just stayed overnight, and I'll be back out to the lake tomorrow. Whatever, Mr. Snow. At that point, I didn't really care. It was better he was not there. So that's fine. But what I do know now, after I've been unraveling all of his bullshit, is that where he had actually gone that evening was not back to Regina, was not back to Moose Jaw. He was actually with a woman in that area. So I believe it to be Nacum, Saskatchewan. I'm not going to tell you her name. She doesn't deserve that, because I actually feel kind of sorry for her. She thought they were living together. Believe it or not. Apparently she had posted all over Facebook that they were a couple, and they were living together. So go figure. He's good at what he does. He's really, really good at what he does. I think it was probably about this time that I maybe possibly pulled my first investment. I was really, money was super tight. I was scared shitless, to be quite honest. And I was begging him to put something in writing, and he'd say to me, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that. You're right. I'll get on my lawyer. My lawyer is supposed to be right on top of that. So I don't know what's taking so long, but yes. And I've already put you in my will. So don't even worry about it. we even went so far to go, he made appointments to go talk to insurance agents so he could get some extra coverage. That never happened. Yeah, it's just, I wish that you could all be in my mind so you could know how good he is at manipulating. It's incredible. I've never been manipulated like this in my life, and I don't wish it on anybody because it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. So I want to talk to you about hunting, how much Mr. Snow enjoys hunting. So in the fall, probably September, October, whenever hunting season is, he had told me that he knew a man from when he was trucking, a Hutterite man, and that his name was, let's call him Bob. I don't know. That Bob, they still were kind of friendly, and you know, Bob said that he could come and hunt on their land. So Mike was he was going out there to go hunt on Bob's land, and he would call me. He'd call me and he'd say, "Oh man, these people are so nice. Like Bob introduced me to his wife Stella and their kids, like Jim Bob and Jojo. And you know, like these boys, they're in their teens, and I gave them some whiskey. Oh, they thought that was really great. They're letting me stay in this cabin in the back, and this is what it looks like. And oh my goodness, Stella, she cooked like a dream. Oh wow, like I'm learning so much about this culture. It's really interesting. They're such nice people. Yeah, it's really great. So yeah, I'm gonna go hunting in the morning, and yeah, you know what? I don't worry. I will be at your family event. I will definitely be at your family event. That's not a problem. So, you know, first of all, he spent many weekends, long weekends, days up in that area hunting. Actually, I know now that again, it was the woman in Nacum or possibly another woman because I have a mystery woman that I don't know who it is yet, and I'll get to that. So stay tuned. So at any rate, let me finish the story of him showing up at my family event. And I believe it was Thanksgiving, maybe a Thanksgiving event. And it was in Saskatoon with extended family. So he was out hunting, and he did show up late to the family event. And, you know, he said, oh man, like, you know, he shot a deer, but then the deer was just wounded. And it ran away and it was bleeding, and he couldn't let that deer, like that would be unethical to let the deer go. So he traced it, and, you know, but he knew he had to be here. So he got Jim Bob and Jojo and, you know, to go track the deer, because goodness, like that would just be really unethical to leave a wounded animal, you know. So he came to the family event, but he had to leave quickly because he had to deal with the deer. So the next morning, he says, yeah, so, you know, I went back, we tracked through the bush. I tracked, and I did find the deer. A cougar got it. So unfortunately it was no good to me. You know, you can't take the meat off that deer that's been sitting there now for that long and you know, eaten by a cougar. So yeah, so that's the hunting story, except he was in Nacum with the woman he was living with. Stay tuned. Number 11, it gets better.